Jesus Christ. Okay, all yours. Oh, wait a second. That's a good picture. Okay. I'm going to connect you right now. Just smile in front of the picture. Did I seem unenthusiastic? Yeah. Where's my thing? Okay. Here we are. We're all set. Thank you, Deb. I love the pictures. Now I know how to do it. I'm going to try to do that on my PowerPoint. I never knew how to do a slideshow.
For some reason, it's just like, yeah, I was like, it just got stuck and we did it and like,
nope. Looks like you can float underwater. Is it a, oh yeah. Looks like you can throw it in the water. I know today it's a little bit humid in here. And no, it's not, Barb, it's not. We walked in here this morning, we're like, woo! But it has cooled off a little bit since we've gotten here, so that helps a lot. So anyway, welcome. It's already June 8th. We're already counting down the days to July 4th. I mean, that's how quickly the summer's going. I feel like typically after Memorial Day, we see a spike up in business again, right? Memorial Day passes, we see a spike until the kids get out of school. I don't know how you guys are feeling. I feel like we haven't had that spike in the last 2 weeks. I feel like it's sort of evened out. Maybe it's just because of the market we're in. We're just in a different market than we've ever experienced before. So let me get this back going. Okay. So if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it becomes real. So you have to have your calendar put together every week. It's so important. And again, I tell new agents, and I told you guys in the past, the reason I send out the email on Sunday morning is because I feel that Sunday is a good day to plan your week ahead, whether it's during the day, whether you're at an open house, you have some time. I don't know if that's even possible in these days to have time at open house. Remember when we used to sit there at open houses, we could write letters, we had a whole 3-4 hours of just getting things done because the traffic wasn't like it is today. Now I know it's busier. Or even at night, you know, when you're settling down on a Sunday night. But again, just make sure that you have a plan in place for the week and you're scheduling your daily habits every single day to be successful, because it is harder than ever right now. We all know that. So our office awards, I did post these out on Facebook last week because I was not able to populate them because last month, Wednesday was June 1st. So I was able to populate them on June 2nd. So I know a lot of you have seen them already. So our top producers for teams for dollar volume for the month, the Brenda Lee team, Tabitha and Howard, who's our new up and coming team. They've done amazing last month with $3.5 million in dollar volume and 6 units, okay, for May. And Barbara and Betsy with $2.5 million in dollar volume. So congratulations to all our top producer teams for the month of May. These are our individuals for the month of May. So for dollar volume, again, we have Joanne Travisano at 3.250. Lucky for her, that was 2 transactions. That was literally 2 transactions, right? How, like, we dream of that, right? We dream of that. She listed a house for 2.2 and sold them a house for 1.1. They're downsizing. While she was in St. Martin, Danny. Yep, it's true. You know, so we do talk about the bad parts of our business, but we do have some perks in our business, right? If you have support to help you when you are away. And I always say, guys, if you were to schedule a vacation once a month, you'd be the top producer of the market, honestly. Either that or get sick, right? Those 2 things. I prefer that you schedule a vacation rather than get sick. So So congratulations to Joanne, Vin, and Cheryl, who had amazing months last month. And then sales and teams, Tabitha and Howard and Brenda Lee team. And sales individual, Cheryl Towie, Jacob, and Vin. So again, congratulations. And listings, Gloria, Cheryl, and Mara. And then for Wykerly Network for the month of May, Tabitha had 2 units and $825,000 value for Wykerly Network. So again, these lead generation systems that we provide, whether it be Wykerly Network or OpCity, it's really about the person who receives the lead versus the leads, okay? Because we have a lot of lead converters in our office, or I shouldn't say a lot. We have a small percentage of lead converters in our office, but their mindset is that these are opportunities they wouldn't have had, and they do everything they can to convert them. And that's the difference. So agent spotlight of the month. So this month, we wanted to have Vin Datwani come up and just talk a little bit about his success and how he's done. His business has been up 63% year over year. 14 deals closed already for 2022 and 6 under contract for this year alone. And we're in the 6th month, right? So he does that's 20 deals, right? Quite impressive. You gotta stand up, Vin, and come up here. Imagine if he continued that for the rest of the year, he'd be at 40 deals for the year. I mean, amazing, right? In a year that people are saying, there's no business, it's much more difficult. So Vin, just share with us a few things, help everybody understand what the things you've done and that you've been consistent with this year.
So how's the market? How's the market? How's the real estate market? Number one question you're gonna get anywhere you're at. If you go to a barbecue, you go to you're sitting at someone says you're a realtor. Next question they ask you, how's the market? You have to have that prepared in your head. How are you gonna react to that? Next question is a follow-up question. You gotta ask them, how's the market? It's like, oh, what are you trying to do? You gotta get into their head. Let's set up something. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Come to a meeting. Go to a coffee shop. Set up a meeting. You gotta follow up because they're asking you. Obviously, there's a question. Not asking you just for the hell of it. Give them your card. If you're ready, give me a call. We'll talk. The market is great. It just depends what you're looking to do. That's all you gotta say. But you gotta lead it into something else. You gotta lead it into a conversation. But that's number one. I get a lot of business that way, and because I'm prepared in my head how I'm gonna react to that question. You're gonna get that everywhere, especially go to a summer barbecue this summer. Someone introduces you. Oh, this is Vin. I'm like, what do you do? I'm a realtor. Well, how's the market? 9 out of 10 times. So you gotta have that prepared in your head. In terms of social media, I do a lot of social media, but I try everything. I call it planting seeds. I've been planting seeds 10 years ago. I used to envy all these big agents. They didn't even work, and they're getting like listings left and right. How do they do it? There must be something they have that I don't have. I started from scratch like all you guys. I made like 10 grand a year in real estate in the first 5 years. I didn't make that much, but I learned a lot. I learned in the down market, which helped me. But I also planted seeds. What I mean by that is you let people know you're a realtor. They don't need a realtor tomorrow. They don't need a realtor 5 years from now. They might need it in 6 years. But they know you're a realtor, and like it's a plumber. Like when you call a plumber, don't call them because your furnace is working. Call when it doesn't work or something, HVAC. But the main thing is they know who you are and they already trust you. But you have to build that trust over time. And I plant seeds. I send out mailers. I send out postcards. I do social media. I do a little bit of everything. I look for referrals. Like when you close on a property, I found this thing on Vistaprint. I send out just move cards. So basically, your clients are referring you without referring you. So what I do is like the Smiths have moved to 123 Main Street. Send out 25 cards, put a stamp on it. On the back, they're sold by Vin Datwani. Now, you don't even have to ask for referrals. They'll mail to their friends, and their friends will call you when they're ready. So it costs like 20 bucks. You could do that, 30 bucks. Every time you have a buyer, they're referring you. So you got to think outside the box sometimes. Door hangers work, door to door is good. Your billboard is your sign. So put your sign out. everyone, use your sign, get the signpost. That's an awesome billboard. People spending $5 grand for billboards on the side of the road. Is that really helping? I'm driving 80 miles an hour. I don't get to see the billboard. So, that's just a way of getting brand recognition. But like, you got to find out a gimmick that works for you and brand yourself with that gimmick. My gimmick is jokes, as you all know. A lot of people follow me for the jokes. There's a reason behind it. I don't just do it for fun. It's also, they follow me because they want to see a new joke every day. I don't tell people this, but when it comes time to sell or buy, I get referrals from Facebook. With the house I got in Rockaway with Tabitha and Howard, had that deal going on. The guy contacted me on Facebook. We had common friends. I added him years ago, and he's like, I'm thinking about selling my house. Like, well, what do you think I can expect? So I give him a range. I really have to see the house to tell you exacts. When you're ready, give me a call. Calls you up next week, and he's like, can you come over and give me a price? Yeah, sure. This house, the crazy video, everything. All my marketing is different this year. So I do video, I do floor plans, I do pictures. Sometimes I do virtual staging. I pay for all that. But that's my consistency. That's my brand. You hire me, this is what you get. And I don't go cheap. So I tell them that. But I don't tell how much I pay for these because I want them, otherwise they'll do it themselves. But the main thing is you have to have that consistency in your brand. In terms of my gimmick is, like I said, back to gimmicks, but it was joke. Some people's travel, they like to travel. People are looking for your personality online. And you got to keep it clean, no politics, don't take sides. Some people say I'm pro-Trump. You don't want to do all that because you're going to lose business that way. You got to keep it clean, no curse words, nothing like that. But just keep it consistent. That's the main thing, and follow up. I watch who likes my posts. I add every realtor in the area because if they have a new listing coming out, it's on their Facebook before it's out in public. So that's a good way of finding new business, new listings. The deal I just did, Livingston, closed yesterday. The lady follows me on Facebook, and I didn't even pay asking. I paid under asking in Livingston, and we got it because she knew me, and it appraised for more. My client was happy. So, but it was a social connection online. Well, I never met the girl in person. So, it can lead to something. It's just you got to maintain that positivity and keep things flowing. I throw a real estate thing once in a while. People like it for no reason. But when they like it, it goes on their wall. That's what people don't understand. So that's how I get more hits on my listings in that sense. And then people see, oh, you list another one. And the KV Core thing is awesome. The Core listing machine, it shows up. My friends think I'm like listing a property every week. And it just filters other people's listings to our LinkedIn, social media, Facebook. So that stuff works. You don't realize how much it works, but it does work behind the scenes. I'm trying to do Instagram stories this year, but I got to come up with content. I watch other people watch your stories. You can see who watches it. So people are following you out there. So like I said, my thing is comedy, or I put something about real estate. But people like it, and then people text me, I'm looking to buy, I'm looking to sell on the side. So I'm like, wow, this is great, it works. But like I said, you got to maintain positivity and find your gimmick. Like your gimmick could be your kids. It could be, you don't want to exploit them, but I mean, you want to show a little bit of what you do. You're a family man, you're a family person. You like to travel, you like to go to the beach. I never tell people I'm at the beach. I tell them, just hanging with the fam or something. Or, just make up. I tell people on an appointment or something. You don't have to tell people the truth. You just gotta, it's all about perception. They perceive like you have the best life. And everyone brags on social media. I don't brag. I just keep it humble. But I'm also doing business, and even though we're all these jokes, I'm doing business. But every day I keep a consistency. Every day I post another thing, and it's just my gimmick. And that's what leads me to other avenues. But like I said, it's all about planting seeds. Every day you plant a seed somewhere. Give out your business card. Give out wherever you are. Keep your name tag on it. That's what works for you. I don't like to do that because then people bother you at the grocery store or whatever. Like sometimes I'm in my own zone. I'm just like, I'm sitting at a bar, someone talks about real estate. So I try to interject in their conversation without being a salesperson. I'm like, oh yeah, I sold a house in that area. I know that area. That was cool. It's like, oh, what do you do? I'm in real estate. Oh, how's the market? There's your answer. So you follow up that way. And it's that easy sometimes, but it's all about selling your confidence at the end of the day. If you're not confident, when I was first doing my open houses, people would come in and it's like any other open houses, I'd give them the whole sheet. I'm like, if you like anything, call me. They never called me. I just give them inside information. The right way of doing is let's set up an appointment, let's meet, let's talk. I get people come to the office. Gas prices are $5 a gallon. I'm not going to sit there wasting time showing opening houses for you. I don't have time for that. If you want to work with me, come sit in the office with me. I'll explain the whole process in an hour. I'll get to know you. You get to know me. I'll see how serious you are. If you're not serious, it's not worth my time right now. I'll get some other people to help you. Divvy up my time. I'm more of a listing agent this year, which I like because I get more family time. But that's not always the case. I'm working weekends. I'm working 7 days. I never get to go to the beach. This year I want to go to the beach. I want to change things around. I made enough money so far, but it's not about the money. It's about, to me, it's just about momentum, keeping that momentum going. And whether it's a condo you're selling or $1 million house, just keep that momentum going. Because once you have one, you're hungry for more.
Mhm.
You get that one, you don't, you're like down and you're worried about my business. You don't worry about it. Just keep positive and just keep things going. Try a new avenue, try another way of marketing. Call up some old clients. I've gotten business from referrals this year. The one in Livingston I just called, that was a referral from a past client. I sent him a $100 gift card for each of her kids. It's just something small from my pocket, but you know, she gave me 2 referrals already, which were like both 700 grand. So that's another avenue of marketing. But you know, this is the year to sell. You got to promote that. I don't know what's going to happen next year. You don't. But if your rates go up, prices might come down. So this is the best year to sell, and you got to advertise that to your clients. I don't push real estate on them, but they know in the background I'm in real estate, and that's the whole objective. I just want them to know. I don't want them to like every day just close, just list it. I get bored of people like that. I turn them off. But that's why people fall in for the drugs, because I'm always about real estate. I have my business page just for real estate. My personal page is my personal page. And once in a while, I'll throw a real estate thing in. There's also Facebook groups, there's garage sale groups. Add yourself to all of them. You know, some people post on there, I'm looking for a realtor, or if they're selling furniture, that's a clear sign they're gonna list their house. Go to garage sales. I can always buy something, I mean, negotiate. And then like I bought that ruler for $1. Remember me? Yeah. I gave you my card. I'm just following up. Are you thinking about selling your house? I've gotten listings from a garage sale. That's about planting seeds. You never know, it might help you. It's just an introduction, trying to get in the door without being pushy. So like garage sales are a great thing. There's a lot of people look at Facebook groups. If they're selling sofas, you know, they're probably thinking about selling their house because they're getting rid of big stuff. There's also, you can create your own garage sale group. I've created a rental page. I've gotten leads from that. And the other people got leads from that. Lori found someone on that page and closed them in like West New York, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, and it does help, and I just manage to keep it strictly for rentals. I don't try to get people posting random like buy a car service or whatever. So you know, that's another way avenue. And a lot of realtors have their own groups, and you get the moms groups, like the one that Enid Davis has a Montreux group. Whole bunch of moms are on there. I'm not on there too, but
You missed your mom.
everywhere. But she, like one day, she's like, "Oh, you didn't like this post?" I'm like, "Oh, she manages it." So then you understand that's a smart. So
Agents have posts that you don't know that they're behind the scenes of it. You know, they either have a company manage it or they're managing it themselves. But there's a lot like that for towns that people don't realize who's behind it, right?
you gotta come up with an angle, like garage sales are a great thing, or house furniture to sell, or whatever. Homes to sell, New Jersey, strictly for realtors. You can do whatever you want. I started that group for rentals, and a lot of people want to list their properties. I was thinking about changing into a listing group. I have like 5,000 members now, and 5-10 members every day add. So there's a lot of demand for rentals out there, and people don't want to pay the fee. So some of my clients like, "Can you list this rent?" I'm like, "Sure." I put it on that group. It's sold. It's rented. So I made money right away without doing nothing. I made both sides on a rental. So that creates another avenue.
Mhm. So anybody have any questions for Ben in reference to what he does? I have just a few points I want to bring up. So one thing he mentioned, first of all, is core listing machine, and the reason why it stuck to my head is because I've been using core listing machine since I was in Remax when we had it there. And I always thought it was a great value and a great advantage. And today there is a training, Riker University is doing a training on core listing machine. So you can do that at, I think it's at 1 or 2 o'clock. I sent it out in my email this morning, so you can enroll there. But that's something everybody should have on their Facebook page, because again, it's not only about listings, it's about food and travel and things that people are interested in, that they'll click on it. When they click on it, it brings them to a branded page that has your information on it, all that stuff. And if they want more information, then it takes them to your website. So you want to engage people in your website. So everybody should have a core listing machine set up, and you can do it as frequently or not as you want. You set up the time, the amount that's going to be posted. So it's really up to you. You customize it. That's number one. Number two, I was talking last week, I think I told people in Mastermind, but I was talking to an agent last week on the weekend, and they're having a great year. And I said, what are some of the things you're doing? They said, well, when I go on a listing appointment, and this is someone who's not been in the business very long, they said, when I go on the listing appointment, I say to the sellers, you know what, this is the marketing I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do professional photos. I do videos. They show the video that they're doing, all of the marketing. And then they say, you know what? Most agents don't want to spend the money on their sellers. They don't put the expense out. They put the least amount that they can out. And I thought to myself, that is so freaking true. Because I hear people all the time trying to figure out how they're not going to put stuff out there. Well, it's only this, it's only $250. Should I do this? Should I do that? You should do consistently what you do for a $100,000 listing to $1 million listing. Everything you do in your business should be the same, regardless of what financial aspect someone has in their background. And you should be able to tell your clients, this is what I do to market your home. This is what I do. And so it's so true that most agents will be like, they try to, and so that now, guess what? If that seller is going up against, if they're going to be interviewing another agent, I guarantee they're going to ask them, what are you doing? What are you doing to market my home? I want to hear what you're doing above and beyond these other things that are happening. So again, people are getting more savvy, right? And they are putting money out, and they're getting more, you know, they're able to do more on social media. They know how to do that. They're hiring people to do that. So again, I thought that was important. And then the last thing that I thought was most important, what Ben said, was make your marketing a reflection of you. Make it a reflection of you. So he likes the funny things and he likes to go on there. That's a reflection of him, right? Catherine Adcock loves her dog and loves pets. That should be what she puts out there, right? Whatever it is, you know, if it's your kid you love. There's a Mendham realtor, I forgot her name off the top of my head. I think it's Meredith Rena, who every marketing thing she does, whether it's on social media or elsewhere, her daughter is part of it. Her daughter is at her open house. Her daughter's helping her put the sign in, her daughter, right? So just again, it's a reflection of her and her personality. So think about what you love to do and make it, then it becomes easy to do to post things on social media. You love food, post at every restaurant you go to. You know, it can be as easy as that, once a week or once every 2 weeks. Again, don't overwhelm yourself with making your personality. So I thought that was a great point.
Pictures, I get professional photos for.
Nope.
Why I do that? Because I have the pictures every year that renter goes out, and I get the listing again. And when they sell, I have the professional pictures already done. So that's 5 deals for the next 5 years, and when they sell. So,
and rentals are so hot right now. I received an email from CJMLS yesterday. They're doing a whole thing on rentals because they're so hot in so many areas. So again, that's about doing the same thing consistently for every single client, whether it's a renter, a $100,000 buyer, or a $1 million buyer. You do the same thing over and over again because it's part of your business plan. It's part of who you are, and it's part of what you promise your clients when you're sitting in front of them.
you know, $150 for pictures. I tell them, you need to know how much you pay. You know you spent a lot when they're only making $300 on a rental. They don't understand it. I get it long term if you hire me. And if I rent it fast for a higher price.
And it's important, you know, that you're investing in that. That's nothing that they have to do, right? All the investments come out of you. So thank you, Vin. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing. We're very quiet today, our group. So some NCJAR updates. You guys get the same email as I do. My perception is that you probably don't read it. You probably say, I'm going to look at this later. I'm going to look at this later. I'm going to look at this later. So I thought I'd just refresh your memory. And just to remind you guys, I spoke to you last month that I'm now part of a broker panel on NCJAR. Tomorrow we sit again for an hour. So if there's anything at all that you are having issues with, that you want answers to, let me know. send me an email today or a text today, or come and sit with me today, however you want to do it. And I will bring it up tomorrow so that I can get you answers from the top tier NCJAR management, which is Mary Kano and Gary Large, right? They're the best. So coming soon. So this was one of the biggest obstacles that our board and our MLSs are seeing, is the way agents are handling the coming soon. So I know that they're putting together, they mentioned there's a grassroots team being put together about changing this status, just so you know. So coming soon listings may be utilized when a seller is ready to sign a multiple listing agreement, but is not ready to show the property to potential purchasers for personal reasons. Here are some best practices reminders from Mary Kano. It is only to be used at the seller's request and the seller's understanding of the advantages of the MLS for the seller, as opposed to an exclusive listing. So I know in our office, there's a big confusion. And the reason why is because prior to Coming Soon came out, I was a big proponent of saying, have your clients sign an exclusive listing paperwork, because if it doesn't go on in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you are protected. And I still want to do that, right? So that's one thing that we're keeping going. But now it's a question of, when they're signing the exclusive, do you want it to go out? Do you want it to go out to the office only, or to Weicker brokers only? Because then you have to get a waiver of cooperation, and then it has to be put on the MLS with your waiver of broker cooperation uploaded, okay? If you're gonna show it to anybody, including yourself, okay? If you're not gonna show it to anybody and you took it just for the purpose of, let me protect myself from this, then you don't have to put it on there, okay? Because you're not marketing it anywhere, you're not putting it anywhere. That was just solely to say, I wanna protect myself for the next 2-3 weeks while I help my client prepare this home for sale, okay? No sign on the lawn, not marketing it. If you want to do that, then you have to upload it into, or you have to put it into the MLS, okay? You can, yes. Any MLS, you can, for an exclusive, you can have a sign on the lawn, you can do an open house, you can market it on social media, okay? Because our MLS is not cooperating with the, I shouldn't say that, New Jersey, New Jersey Association of Realtors has a law in place that we can do that with an exclusive. So the national NAR cannot override that. And so that's why. It will not, no. Not as an exclusive, no. No, there's no way for it to filter anymore. Again, because Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com all run nationally. So they have to follow national rules, not just New Jersey rules. Yeah. You should, if you're gonna put it up exclusive, or coming soon, should be coming soon, so people know. Yeah. So that's where. It has to be listed, yes. That's exactly it. Yep. That's why they're so frustrated at the board. They're so frustrated because she gets multiple calls a day from agents saying there's been a coming soon sign out for 3 months on this house. It's not listed. Nobody knows what's going on. You know, you can't get in touch with the realtor, whatever the case may be. So that's why now, yeah. So now they're putting together, it's most likely going to be changed because it's being abused. It's not being used for what it was intended for. So I'm just talking on our level in our office where we use exclusives a lot, what the difference is, okay, between exclusive and commission. Yep. So when they see the sign out and they get a call, now they can go in and say, oh, they're exclusive listed. They have a waiver of broker cooperation. So unfortunately, you'll have to reach out to the agent and see. No, that's something different. I'm going to go, that's on my slides today too. Okay. That's totally different. Don't withdraw conditionally, and withdrawal conditionally is totally different than what we're dealing with right now. Okay. So don't even let that confuse you. Yeah. So NJMLS, you were always supposed to send your paperwork in, okay? We didn't know that until I had the meeting with NCJAR a few weeks ago. So yes, you're supposed to send in paperwork for exclusive in other MLSs as well. No. We mean, no, it doesn't show anywhere in NJMLS, but GSMLS, we can see it office-wide, but nobody else can view it. And no other brokerages or agents can do it. It's just internally to show that you've done the proper paperwork and you're doing it properly. Well, because it's our exclusive. It's not an NJ, it's not an MLS. Remember, exclusive means you're not putting in an MLS. So that we only have we only have one form through our office. Yes, that one goes. Yes. Okay. I know it's a little confusing and it's just coming out, but I just want to make sure we're clear. It's not active. It's not an MLS listing. It's just, again, exclusive, but it's not going on anywhere. It's only for internal purposes. It's not going out to the, not for it to be shown to the public or to the other. Yeah, you're only entering a very limited information. Yeah, I think it came out in April or May. Yeah, that's why there's so much confusion, because it just came out. No, coming soon, or no, it's coming soon. Off market, you're not putting in all that information. So you're going in, you're putting in off market, and you have one little blurb to put in, just the address and some information. It's not like putting in a regular listing where you have pages and pages of information. This is very limited information, just to show that you have an exclusive listing. Should someone call them and say, well, I see a sign out in front of this property, I haven't seen any, it's not on the MLS, can you check it for me, whatever, and they can check it easily. Yeah, so I don't think they do. I don't think if they're not waiving broker cooperation, that you do have to put it up. You understand that? So if you're offering it to everybody, if you're taking exclusive and your friend from Keller Williams calls you and says, Joanne, I saw in your post yesterday, you have a new listing coming up in East Hanover. It's exclusive right now. Can I show it? And you say yes, then it's not a waiver of cooperation, right? You're allowing any brokerage to come in. If you're a client, if you say to your client, your seller, you know what, I'm going to do this exclusive. I'm only going to open it up to the agents to my brokerage while you get your painting done, you fix your deck, you get the mold out of your attic, all that stuff or whatever. We'll get some pricing in, we'll get all that stuff done, and then we'll hit the market if we don't get anything. Well, then you need a waiver of broker cooperation because you're only allowing your brokerage to come in. If you're just getting it again for the sheer purpose of you're not selling it and nobody's showing it, you just want to protect yourself, then it does not have to go in. Then it does not have to go in, right? But then don't market it all over the place, right? And show people that. So like there's 3 different steps, there are 3 different ways you can use the exclusive basically. So does everybody understand that? Thank you, Bonnie, thank you. Well, as you go through it, it'll become more, I guess. So a copy of the exclusive listing must be sent to the MLS along with the waiver for cooperation form signed by the seller. If the seller wishes to use an exclusive listing agreement, it is not the GSMLS listing agreement, but an agreement drafted by the listing brokerage firm. We all have our own exclusive listing.
You're not showing it at all. You're just popping it up.
Correct.
Is opening it up to your brokerage, and then the third choice is that you'll let anybody show what company it is.
Yep. For the New Jersey rep, you must have the waiver of broker cooperation signed by the seller and attached to the listing. For the New Jersey rep, the waiver of broker cooperation must be furnished to cooperating broker agent upon request. So if someone calls you, another broker or another agent says, can you share with me your waiver of broker corporation. You have to say, I absolutely will, and you send it right over to them. And same thing, if you call someone and they say, no, I don't have to show it to you. Yes, you do. Okay, they have to share with you if they're not going to cooperate with other brokers. Okay, and it's a brand X. They should, right? They should be asking you that. Yes, they should say, okay, you are cooperating. What do you cooperate? No, I know. They can't see the form. Yes, yes. So you should be asking agents. And also another word of advice for you guys who maybe showing homes and other MLSs that you're not a part of. You have to ask, it's your responsibility to find out what they're going to cooperate with you. Because if you're not part of that MLS, they don't have to cooperate with the number that's on their MLS form or their MLS sheet. Okay, they don't have to cooperate with you at all if you're not part of their MLS. That's something I found out as well. So again, if you're going to be calling someone in Asbury Park and saying, hi, I'm going to be showing your listing. How do I get access? By the way, can you send me your listing form? What do you call it? Your MLS form. That's the right word. Your MLS, so I can see all the details. And then, what are you cooperating at? That's what I would ask them. Because I would assume most people think that they have to cooperate with what they do. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And do another thing. Yes. So again, just protecting yourself. So highest and best. When is it over? I guess highest and best is not as aggressive as it used to be, but still, does highest and best have a deadline date? Only the seller can determine that, right? So everything that has to do with presenting an offer is in the seller's hand. You are there to guide the seller, advise the seller, but it's their decision at the end what they want to do. And I know a lot of the times they say, well, what would you do? Well, what do you suggest, right? So you have to give them some advice, but they have to make the determination. So what happens if the highest and best time frame says by 5 p.m. on Friday, and another offer comes in after 5 p.m.? As the listing agent, you are under the obligation to present all written offers to the seller unless directed otherwise, meaning from your client. And you better have that in writing. You better have that in writing from your seller. Because if your seller finds out from their neighbor that someone was coming in with 800,000 and they had told you they didn't want any more, but now they're saying, why didn't you present it to me, right? Because they forget. They have amnesia sometimes with things. Make sure you get that in writing. So New Jersey Rec, all written offers go to the seller or the seller's representative, regardless of a deadline. It is up to the seller to decide to entertain that offer or not. Control is in the seller's hands. Buyer's agents should inform their buyer that highest and best isn't over until the seller says so. Okay? So, is it over when the seller says it's over? All written offers must be presented to the seller by the listing broker agent within 24 hours of receipt and up until closing. If the seller instructs you otherwise, you must get it in writing. Okay? So I know a lot of you do that, or you send it right over to the attorney. You get the attorney's information, you send it to the attorney so that you know the attorney will present it to the client. You don't have to worry if the agent is going to do that. Well, you don't, because are you representing the seller or the buyer? Yes. No. I would just give them the seller's, the attorney's information, let them send it to the attorney, let them have a conversation with the attorney, the other agent. Yes, exactly. And then exclusive right to sell or exclusive agency agreement. I haven't heard anybody here having a problem with that or confused or anyone asking me, but I'm assuming if she put this out, she's getting a lot of questions about it. So what is the difference? Exclusive right to sell, which is what we use mostly. Listings that state the owner will pay the listing broker commission no matter who procures the buyer and makes the sale, including the owner, right? So that's what we usually check off: exclusive right to sell. Exclusive agency, listings allow the owner to sell the property himself or herself with no obligation for commission to the listing broker if he or she sells it on their own during that time that they're listed with that agent, okay? And so I think most people here understand that. So again, I just thought because they put it out there, maybe some people are having confusion about it, or they're seeing a lot of confusion in here. So any questions with that? I know it's a little confusing, but I guess as you go through exclusive, you'll understand it more when you're dealing with a client and going through it. So we talked about NCJAR last week and how it's changed its site to be compliant with Daniel's law. You can still access the public records until the end of the year. Actually, Nancy sent me over where it says until the end of the year, that site will be up and then that site will be coming down. Okay, so you won't be able to go on to NCJAR after December 31st. Okay.
One of my listings in it was sold by another microgroup, and they wrote on, I represent the buyer, not the seller. It's supposed to be, since it's Whiker, it's supposed to be, I represent both the buyer and seller.
It's disclosed to an agency regardless of what Whiker office sells it in the state of New Jersey, unless it's a franchise office. So Jim Whiker owns all of his offices except for about 5. I believe it's Newark, Atlantic City, Wildwood, Elizabeth, and I forgot the 5th one. But you'll know, Marsh Plains, yeah. But you know how you'll know it's not a Jim Whiker owned office? It'll say the Whiker IMLO group. That will be the name of the Whiker office, right? Not bad, right? I should just name this the Whiker IMLO group here at Marsh Plains. Yeah, no one will notice. Yes, yes. They probably won't, to be honest with you. I feel like sometimes they don't even pay attention to us around here. Culture training. So I had put up my board last week. I was hoping to come back here and see all this stuff written down. So we're trying to put down, get some ideas of things that you guys want to see in the future, get people back in and engage. Did everybody see Elon Musk's message last week to his employees? Okay, it was very powerful. He said, either you come back to work for a minimum of 40 hours a week in the office, or I'm accepting I'm accepting that as your letter of resignation. People have to come back in. I know you can have your workspace at home, you can have all these comfortable things that you're doing, but if you're not in collaborating with other people, engaging with other people, just being in the environment, it does prohibit how much business you do. I'm sorry, it does. There's very few people, a small percentage that can actually be very productive at home, but that's a very small percentage versus a bigger percentage that need to be engaged and need to be, part of a bigger experience every single day. So I unfortunately can't say that to anybody because I'm not anybody's employee here, and my employees come in every day and do what they're supposed to do. So there's nobody I can say this to, but just think about that. Elon Musk is just like, listen, people, it's not going to happen anymore. And that's what a lot of companies are saying, and a lot of people are back in the office again. And because for a while it was productive, but then things slow down. And so you're going to see more and more people going back to work. Yeah, true. Almost there. So as well, it's the summer, it's going to go up in the summer. Until Labor Day, you're going to see a spike. Yeah, well, true. I mean, I know it's horrific, but it's going to be more horrific in the summer, I guess is what I'm saying. Since Home Warranty has updated its brochure, I will attach it when I share today's meeting slide. So they just did an updated brochure yesterday. I will send it to you guys. I believe they're going to send some to our office. And the new, why can't I remember his name? John, our old representative, John Mulligan. Thank you. John Mulligan retired. So he was with us for a long time. He was with us the whole time I've been here, which was a long stretch for me, for any home warranty representative anywhere I've been. So he has a new, we have a new representative. She'll be visiting our office meeting in a few weeks and going over some of the things they're doing, but I will share the new form with you so you have it so you can send it out to your clients. Mm-hmm. I mean, basically what it says on the website is you have to reach out to your local, what? Each individual county, yes. I guess they're gonna, yeah. RPR is syndicated from our local MLS. That's where it comes from. So it's or all the MLSs. So anywhere that you search all over the world, because you can search nationally there, it's pulled from their MLS. So whatever information was put in their MLS at one time is what you'll see. So like if you went into RPR today and you put in the square footage and you put in the, you know how you can fill out all that stuff, it's not 3 bedrooms, 2 beds, whatever, then it will be in there, but I don't think it's going to be put in actively from any other space, right? So it has to be put in by the user or through syndication through the MLS if someone put that information in the MLS. So that's how it's actually. I don't. We'll look into it more because this is all just new, you know, and find out. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is public record, so there has to be some way to access it. I guess it's just not going to be as easy as it's been in the past, and I'm not sure what each county is going to, you know, do or allow or put together for us. But I will look into it more and more. So summer open house contests. Open the door to personalized open house signs. Open houses are still the best way for agents to build their business. All the top agents consistently do open houses every week. It's not something they retire when they get to a certain level in their business and go, oh, thank God I don't have to do open houses anymore. It's something that they do even more so when they get to a certain point because they want to continue to build relationships with buyers and sellers as they come through the door. So you need some business. Real estate is basic. You just need to be consistent with your income producing habits or activities. When? For June, July, and August. What? Monthly winners receive four personalized open house signs. Grand prize winner receives 8 personalized open house signs. The rules are you must host a minimum of 4 open houses per month to qualify. Must sign people in with the open house app. And you can do weekdays, weekend, brokers open, all qualify. Anything that you do will qualify as a open house. Okay, so there's many ways. So you can do it during the week. You can do twilight ones. You can do afternoon ones. You can do any different ones. You know, these days more and more people come in even through brokers open because it's publicly listed on Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com that it's an open house. It doesn't specify brokers, so people come in. So it's a great way to get more business and a great way to get your name out and your face out all over. Is John being fresh behind you, Carol? Oh. I couldn't see John's face, but I saw you shaking your head. I was like, John's being fresh. I'm sorry, John, forever thinking you be fresh, John. I'm so sorry. I apologize. So, important GSMLS form update. So this has to do with the withdrawal conditionally and withdrawal unconditionally. Okay. So before, when you were withdrawing a property, you could have temporary withdrawn, which was on or withdrawn, which were both on the MLS change form, right? Same form that you use to change price, change dates, change anything that you want. Now the temporarily withdrawn form is still there. You can still check off that box if you're only temporarily withdrawing it because they had a flood or because they're on vacation or because something happened in their family. But the withdrawn is blocked out. Okay, so now you have to use, I put it in the wrong spot. So now you have to use the withdrawal form. So there is a Garden State withdrawal form. So there's 2 boxes or options. Conditional release, right? And then I love this because now when your client's signing it, they understand. Remember before you do it withdrawn and they didn't know about an unconditional release or conditional release until they talked to another agent. Then they would call me and say, I want unconditional release. I'm like, who are you talking to? Because I know you don't know that term, right? Now it explains to them so they know exactly what's happening moving forward. So conditional release, owner, landlord understands that this permanent withdrawal, this not release owner landlord from owner landlord's contractual obligation under the listing contract, which shall remain in force. Any revisions to the listing contract must be addressed in a separate agreement between broker and owner landlord. Okay, so that's a conditional release, meaning they cannot list their home with another broker until that listing expires. Okay, and if they do, they owe two commissions. So nobody's going to do that, right? And then they have to initial owner landlord initial number 1, owner landlord initial number 2. So that's just if there's multiple people. Okay. Then unconditional release. Current landlord and broker hereby agree to the cancellation of the listing contract and mutually release each other from any claims, demands, or liability thereunder. And then there's a withdrawal fee. Okay. And then they have to sign the bottom. So an unconditional release cannot be given by an agent. It has to be given by a broker, okay? Because you do not own the listing, the brokerage does. You're just a sub-agent of the brokerage. So you cannot give an unconditional release, nor should anyone accept an unconditional release from an agent. It has to be from the broker, okay? So just so you understand.
So first one. But this you really don't want to get signed when you're listening. You want to have the discussion with them.
Right, so you're talking about you get a change form signed just in case you're going to change something during the process. This should not be included. This is just now if you're going to, if they want to withdraw the house and, you know, and not move forward, or, you know, yeah. So the other day, just so you know, I get a call from an agent in our office. It's a new agent, probably been in the business 2 months, on her second listing. She calls me and says, I got a call from another agent today, and the house I listed last week that I did open house for this weekend, I have multiple offers coming in right now. He's saying that he signed, that those clients signed a listing with them 10 weeks ago. And he's been reaching out, and they stopped responding to him, stopped responding to him. What do we do? I'm like, I don't even know. I was like, I don't even know what to do. So I said, okay, let's think about this. I said, listen, maybe we should just offer him a referral fee, right? Let's just see if he'll accept a referral fee, since, you know, he does have a listing that's dated prior to ours, right? And so anyway, I called the guy, he was open to it. But to date, I have not seen his listing paperwork, so I'm not extending him any referral agreement until I see the listing paperwork signed by the person. But, you know, people are funny, right? They pretend that they don't know what's going on. They pretend they know more than we do, I tell you. Those ones that are, that do things like that, so. Correct. You're not allowed to contact the seller. Anybody can contact you. And remember, unconditional means unconditional. So in our listing agreement, there's a broker protection clause, right? It says if the seller sells to anybody who came through the property during the time the home was listed, was introduced to the property during the time the home was listed, up until 180 days after the listing expires, you're protected. So you get the commission, right? So that's so that someone doesn't go, a buyer doesn't say, by the way, I see you expire in 2 weeks. If you just let it expire, I'll give you such and such, and they work out a deal, right? So that protects us from happening, because that's things that have happened in the past. That's providing it doesn't get listed again. If it lists the next day after it expires with another brokerage, then that is no longer in process for you, right? Because now that they owe a commission to the new brokerage that they pay. What was I going to get through that? What was my whole point of telling that story? Oh yeah, thank you so much. See, Savannah listens to me. So if you're going to give, if you're wanting to open to give someone a conditional release, if it's a seller or a buyer that saw it during your time and he's talking to him, he could sell it to them because you could unconditionally released it. right? And you're not gonna get anything. So remember that, there's not, it's either conditional or unconditional. There's not like in the middle, like unconditional, but exclude so-and-so and so-and-so, you can't. Right? No, they're never gonna read it. No, no. We'll just, what we usually do in our office anyways, we pass it on to another agent. We just have them, another agent move forward with them. So that's what we typically do here. And then the other forms, the updated transaction checklist. So again, just for you guys to know, if you're ever, wondering what papers work do I need, what do I have? So these are the updated required paperwork checklist. So they just updated them. So this is the listing file checklist, and the first paragraph is at time of listing is taking what's required, just as a reminder to you. And this is the sales one, prior to contract writing required. So it just has a list, and then other things that, depending on lead paint, if applicable, right, all those things about applicable. So they did update this, and these are the top of each of the forms in your forms online. Upcoming office trainings. I did forms online training this past Monday. I did the buyer side of the transaction. This time I'm going to do a listing side of the transaction. And then Tuesday, new agent training open to everybody, mastering the listing presentation. So last week I did the first step. This week I did the actual listing presentation. And next week I'm going to do, when I bring comps and all that information and go over that, how you do the comps and what you do when you get to that part of the presentation. So our outside patio happy hour is almost here already, June 14th. So it's 4 to 6, and it's at TIFF, which is up at Speedwell Avenue. We had something there a few years ago inside, but this is outside. They have an outside patio, so we will be outside. So it's this Tuesday, 4 o'clock. On TIFFs in Speedwell Avenue, hosted by our All Under One Roof team in Contagious Capadia. So please put it in your thing. We need to have some fun together, get together, collaborate together. It's always a great time. And if you're lucky, my kids will have to pick me up. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Yes, exactly. Yes. And then next Wednesday's office meeting, they're doing a big community appreciation day. So we're gonna have a big breakfast, including pancakes and eggs and sausage and all that crap that you guys love to eat. So it's next Wednesday, 10 o'clock. We have some speakers coming in from corporate. It's gonna be a fun morning, same time frame. But please join us next week for a regular community appreciation day. And then our MTS workshop, proving tactics to generate seller leads, next Thursday. Is it next Thursday? No, it's 2 weeks. June 23rd, 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And remember, 9 a.m. is advanced, I believe, and 1 p.m. is, what do you call it? For newer people. But you can attend either one, right? You can attend both, either one, whatever you want to do. Save the date for that. And then we're going to have an engagement party. You guys are getting engaged. Nice question, John. Thank you. It's to engage you guys. So it's a 4th of July engagement party. We're going to do it the week before, because the week of 4th of July, who knows where everybody will be. I will be off basically, I believe, that week. So date June 29th at 12 o'clock. So what is an engagement party? Everybody needs to come in with 10 contacts to put into your CRM. And what was the other part of it? And schedule a mass email for that. So we're going to teach you how, 10 agents, and then Chef Anthony will be doing a barbecue for you afterwards in the parking lot. Okay, so that's your lunch. So engagement, we're all going to get engaged together. It's going to be one big engagement for all of us. I'm bringing the ring. I'm going to ring you all in. And then the 22nd annual charity outing is August 18th. If anybody wants to participate, you can sponsor, you can register to be there. If you like golfing, it's a great day. They do a really nice event. So That's coming up on August 18th. God knows it'll be there before we know it, right? Sounds like August 18th is so far away, and I'll be saying, tomorrow I'll be at the golf event or my manager's meeting. Okay, yeah, all under one roof. We, updates for what's going on in the mortgage industry.
Having a slowing, the job numbers not participating in this trend. In addition, OPC met last week and agreed to increase the production of oil, not enough to have a major impact on oil prices. After 2 weeks of moderation, rates started moving upwards towards the end of last week. Another meeting of the Fed coming next week. It will not be surprising to see rates drift higher or stabilize from there. It will be a light week this week for economic data. With the headline reporting, see inflation and number of factors that be positive. See that number is higher than over last week, so in the wrong direction right now. The 10-year Treasury, it's over 3%. For the last 2 to 3 weeks, it was sitting much lower than that, so it's kind of in the wrong direction. This doesn't really come up in our world too much, or your world per se, but sometimes FHA or government loans, FHA loans are assumable. So what does that mean? If a homeowner, a seller, has a 2.75% interest rate on an FHA or VA loan, a buyer can assume that loan as a rate, not seller, the actual current buyer. So a VA buyer who's a property he's selling, he can actually assume that interest rate at times. Rural housing loans are also assumable. This may be a great marketing opportunity for those trying to sell their homes in a more competitive market. So if a guy has a VA loan and they're questioning whether or not to sell that property because of a low interest rate, that's a big concern right now in the market. Right? A lot of people are like, well, I don't want to sell, I want to forego that current rate I have. For FHA VA loans, they may be assumed. How to assume the mortgage? You might present lender and servicer on the loan. You must qualify for the mortgage and it must be an owner-occupied property. That's the same with all FHA loans. As a reminder, it has to be owner-occupied. There are costs to this, right? So it's much lower than your purchase closing costs. For example, the VA requires a 0.5% funding fee, and the lender can charge the process too. You must make a down payment equal to the sales price minus the present loan balance. So again, that kind of changes the game a little bit. By your VA buyer to the payment way down, it just changes kind of the way the process works. VA loans, the veteran does not get their eligibility back. So again, they're foregoing their eligibility as far as what they're eligible for. Unless the assumption is by eligible VA purchaser, that substitutes their eligibility. Don't forget the guarantee for sellers and buyers right now, making sure when they're writing up this contract, get them in these forms online, making sure the seller and buyer are both executing that document, and making sure that the buyer is registered online. If not, they're not going to be eligible. You want them to be talking about it. The seller and buyer thinks they're eligible. We haven't done all the proper stuff. Documentation is registered. Big questions. Talking about the market, what's going on. I'm still seeing a lot of multiple offers still happening. Still going above, but there's certain markets where probably slowing down.
I want to ask you, I sent you an email yesterday or text. So I don't know if anyone's seen a new program called Cash for Keys. I got an email last week from a lender, a local lender, in reference to Cash for Keys. And then I got a call from an agent yesterday who received an offer on their property, and it was a high offer and it had the Cash for Keys program. So what it basically was saying was it was offering way higher than anybody else was. And the lender is actually going to purchase this person's house, but they have so long to sell it. They have 6 months to sell it. And they're upfronting the cash for the house to the seller / buyer, right? So they appear like a cash buyer, but there's a lot of fine print in there. And so I feel like it can be very confusing. And in this case, the agent didn't know anything. They like, oh, it's a great program. Call my person to find out, right? You should at least be knowledgeable about what you're presenting on behalf of your client, right? So can you share a little bit more about that?
Actually, this program on Virginia. going okay, and that program we're talking about, it's a competitor, it's kind of going okay, and there's a lot of red tape, a lot of concerns with it. I know people that work at these companies, when I talk to them, I ask them about it, they're like, kind of more of just a marketing piece, you know, just to kind of get that conversation of something new and enticing kind of going. A lot of things involved, as far as equity in the property, a lot of different moving parts. When you come into all this, losing any transactions yet, so a lot of it, I think, just kind of that little sizzle. But it opens up the opportunity here as a cash buyer, unless you're cash. You know, it's just.
The property tax, that's really odd. Because
Yes.
And we kind of off-cash buyer, and then it turns out to be, which is really not an off-cash buyer. Because of everything.
You know, we haven't actually fully rolled out yet. I think they're kind of like raised on, I think, it's about this change. The need for this. Challenging is fixing market. Sorry, let's say outside investor stuff, you know, those sort of thing, and then by the time they pull this together, it's changing. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm not trying to for that company or whatever the deal is. It's just I know everybody that kind of works these couple companies on this. I'm like, tell me how yours is working. Origination costs, point involved in RSRs, that certain equity, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, and then when you know, it kind of gets to it. It's, you know, it's just kind of a thing just to kind of get us out.
I recommended to the agent, I said, listen, don't let your seller be a guinea pig. Right? Don't let your seller be the guinea pig here. Unless someone can show you or share with you exactly how it's going to benefit your seller in the seller's market, I think that you need to look at other offers. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're a little lower, because they can't even waive appraisal in this because the lender is not putting out the extra money. So there's no waiver of appraisal. So basically, anybody can throw out any number at that point. You know what I'm saying? So to me, there was just too many red flags. It did not make me feel comfortable. So that's why, as I'm talking to them, I'm reaching out to Anthony saying, did you hear about this? He goes, yeah, they, rolled it out in Virginia. It never made it here. We can talk about it later. So just curious.
The question to the leader, which collection will many of the credits will not? A $150 collection that was recently paid off. B, a $10,000 medical collection 5 years ago. C, a $1,000 collection 3 years ago. Or D, they all affect the credit score. Oh, yeah. Answer is A, $150 collection.
That was a hard one. I think you guys cheated, but that's okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. Yes, yes.
Yeah, believe it or not, like paying off the collection sounds weird. It's not good. I think we try to get this in the group.
So don't pay off your collections. So here's I'll advise my clients that don't pay off your collections.
So you got to think about, we just talk about credit hours. So credit's a real funny thing. A lot of times people say, yeah, just pay off the mortgage, right? Finance mortgage, guess what? You got a good paying straight line credit with a balance with a perfect pay history for 80 months and less than your finance. So now you don't have that tax/pay history. Same thing when you have a credit card, it's going like that. Close out that card. You get up and close. You have to yellow credit on perfect pay history gone now. So what you pull it out. So every time you have good credit cards, you don't use one or pay them off. Just don't ever close it. Available credit. You're available in credit account.
Don't pay off your student loans or your judgments or your creditor bills. Okay? That's my advice to you today.
Kind of keep your credit up.
I was laughing when Vin was talking. You were like this, like you were in love with him. You were so like, every word he said, you were like this. Laura's in love with you secretly, by the way. So our absorption rate has gone down. I mean, it has stayed the same for the last 3 weeks. We've been about the same. The amount of homes on the market, the amount of homes that are under contract. Nothing's really changed in the last 3 weeks at all. I mean, still good numbers, but basically staying the same if you see. Being very close, very, very close. So, office listings, we have no exclusives are coming soon, unless anyone has any to share. Did you notice the last 2 days, we did not get a coming soon email at the end of the day. So nobody submitted any in our region at all, which I thought was crazy. Yes.
And it is going to be listed for 960, which is under is very strong and and it's a very I'm gonna do a I think I've done.
Yeah, we need to get back to them.
Will you be serving cocktails?
Tell her to bring them. Tell her to bring them. That's great. Anyone else have anything new? Not yet. So we have Mara has 21 Rosenbrook Drive in Lincoln Park at 889,999. You did? That's so funny when things like that come up. Yeah. 3 Darlene Court, I believe that one just took a contract, right? I think she sent a contract for the 3 Darlene Court that's already gone. Yeah. Yeah, multiple offers this week and she's already accepted the contract. 23 Allen Drive. That means he's off the market. They're accepting a contract. Okay. 11.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah. It's so funny when you're in the business a while and things come up or things you've seen. It's just crazy. 11 Willowbrook Drive in Frankfurt, County Mancino. That one took multiple offers. Or I think today it's highest and best by today at 5, actually. Howard and Tabitha have 234 Vista Drive in Hanover Township. Catherine also has 4 Ottawa Lane in Andover for 350. Just look at that house for 350. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Wow. Anyone else? Anything new to share? Ben. Mm-hmm. Peter Lee has been doing that for 3 or 4 months now, ordering them monthly and giving them out everywhere he goes. Brandon. Cheryl Tower started months ago with them before they changed over, giving them out as gifts, open houses, door hangers, all that kind of stuff. Gloria, I believe, is looking into it now. She wants to do it. So yeah, that's a great idea to have. Always, always. Even when you go to the, I mean, before this happened at the real estate convention, you'd always go get a bag first and then you'd go and put all the stuff in the bag as you walked around and have the bag with you. But yeah, that's a great idea. A great way to market yourself and something that everybody's going to keep in the back of their car and bring out in and out, in and out. Yeah. You know what else I was thinking too? You know how we used to, I mean, I don't know how many people did this, but we used to buy like $5 Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks gift cards and give them out to people either. I know agents who would do that open houses. They were at an open house that was slower, again, in the slower times, and they saw people out shoveling snow or out in their gardens. They'd go out and say, hi, I'm Missy. I just wanted to give you this. I'm having open house at your neighbor's house here, right? Whatever. Do $5 gas gift cards. Or if you get a referral from someone, send them a gas card, $25 or $30. Thank you for your referral. Like, forget about coffee. You know, think about like gas and what people are looking for to stand out. Do a raffle for $5 or something, you know, because you can't do much, right? If you do a raffle. Just thought about it when Bill was talking about. But okay, thank you guys for coming. Remember, next week is a big breakfast, a big summer kickoff. And we'll have some guest speakers here, so it'll be very exciting. Oh, 50-50. Why do I always forget the 50-50? You're the big winner. Did you feel better? Yeah.
Dizzy, went to Washington to come and go to work. And by the end of the day, I said, I do this. I emailed you. And I'm just going to this. We had our stew yesterday. We did. We had a reason. They were jackhammering outside my bedroom the whole morning.
Through everything like a baby. Yeah, Paul actually covered for you. So Paul was coming in the meeting at 12 anyway for a new listing he has that he got from Aqua. And I texted him, I said, do you mind, whatchamacallit? And he said, no, not at all. I'm glad you asked me. So.
reach out to them and make sure you're still active on their site. Yeah. And my mess of the leaf blow has gone down that far, but I don't know, I guess Cheryl, she would get a lot of calls too. Let me find out. Because I know other people are, like Deb still does, David Castro, who's a new agent, is getting them. So let me tell you. Yeah.
Why? I only have one active on hold with them. It's not like I haven't updated my account. It's nothing like that. I haven't